Ellie, stare into my soul and I might give you a treat. I'm going to reach over my hand and look, and I'm bringing the bag of treats this direction. Ellie. Oh, you're going to move over here. Well, you moved away from the bag of treats. Here. Oh, great. Now we got your brother's attention.
We're hanging overtime! We're hanging overtime! We're hanging overtime!
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
All right, Panther fans. So we got the Sabres tonight. Should be an interesting game. It's not one, the Sabres aren't really chasing us in a playoff position. We are, I believe, 2 points behind Boston with a game in hand. So I believe if we win, we can be back in first place. I'm not sure if Boston plays today. But this definitely could be one of those trap games. You know what I mean? You'd like to think that we're closing in on the time of the season where the Panthers wouldn't have any, really bad games. But, we saw in the last game. They kind of coasted through most of the game, just kind of doing our thing. We're not really trying too hard. Oh, we got a couple minutes left. We should probably score a goal or two. And they managed to find a way to get to 2 points. I would not be surprised if you see something very similar to that here tonight. Or we might get 8 in the first period. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to stop asking Sam Reinhart to get goal number 40 because I keep asking and he keeps telling me no. So fine. Don't do anything. All right? Just nothing. Other than that, I think supposedly everybody's going to be back. Stenlin, Chucky's supposed to be back. And I guess Reinhart must have missed a day of practice because he didn't feel good or something. I didn't honestly see it, but I saw George was saying today that Reinhart would be good to go. So I don't know if he missed practice or what. Nobody tells me anything. I just guess, and then I come on and make videos, and occasionally I get something right. So I believe we got Bubba tonight. It doesn't matter. And I don't mean that in any disrespect, but in some years past, not really last year, but in some years past, has been a lot of talk throughout the season about, is it going to be Bob, is it going to be Knight, or is it going to be Bob, or is it going to be Drieger, or Drieger? There's been a lot of talk over the years, throughout the season about, who's going to be the goalie. And even last year, obviously it was Bob's net, but we still didn't know what was going on with Spencer Knight, etc. So for it to be at this point in the season and everything is nice and cozy and toasty, it doesn't matter who's in net. We're going to allow 2 goals. It's basically the way it's been. It just adds to the list of things that us Panther fans are pretty much experiencing for the first time. This is I feel good about this team, like I keep saying, but each it's going to be tough to not have really all 5 reallys. It's going to be tough to not have really high hopes. All right, so it's 2-1 Panthers after 1. I was reminded during the stream that I did not give Bubba his pregame pats, but I can't do it in the middle of the game because that's even worse, Juju. So we'll just make them post-game pats for this one. Bennett with a goal, Chucky with a goal. So the second line doing what it needs to do tonight. Chucky's goal was on the power play, gets a deflection in front off of the Sabres skate, but it still counts. Can't praise goaltender in the middle of the game. Bubba, we all know how that's going. We're winning the game 2-1. Buffalo is definitely outplaying us at this point. Our energy level is 30%. That might be a little low. They're just coasting. It's not a big deal. So we won the second period. this could either. I got a feeling the offense is going to wake up. All right, so it's still 2-1 Panthers after 2. We look much, much better in that period, getting plenty of shots, plenty of chances, and the goalie with the best name in the league, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. You could just say that all day long. But he is robbering us. That's for damn sure. At least, if he was even playing somewhat human, it would be 4-1. And if he was not even having a good night, it could be 6-1. We just had chance after chance after chance. And Ekblad with a nice move, and Rodriguez with a nice move, a couple of other, and just he is taking the Bubba challenge to a new level. That said, I still feel good. Let's finish this up and get 2. All right, 1, 2, 3, and 2 points, and that is 14 times in a row. I'm not clapping the 14. If and when this streak ends, I will clap that out. But right now, we are at 14 straight games of allowing 2 goals or less. And just watched the post-game interview with Tkachuk, and basically his comments echo those of Paul Maurice. So they were basically both kind of just like, I mean, we score goals, whatever, but their main focus is defense. That's just what it is, and you can tell because we keep winning games. We're only allowing 2 goals. The incredible part is that of those 14, we've actually lost a couple where we've only given up the 2. But give Buffalo credit, give Luukkonen credit. They hung around. They did what they needed to do to keep the game within reach. But just like Chucky was saying there at the end of the game, they weren't even worried. Although they did make us sweat those last 5 seconds. I was definitely sweating a little bit. We just could not clear the puck. Interesting game from Brandon Monts where he ends up getting the first star of the game. Obviously, he got a goal. He was very involved. He also had 2 really, really bad giveaways that led to chances. But Buffalo didn't score in those chances, so fine. It is what it is. Reinhart continues to struggle. We should just move on from him now. It's been nice. But, no, look. I think 6 games. 5-6 games. I think he got a point tonight. It'll come. He still looks like the same guy. Teams are covering that bumper play. But the good part to them covering the bumper play is that Reinhardt's standing there in the middle, and the other teams are so tight with their box around him that it's able to open up space for some other guys. So I suspect the power play will continue to have success, but just in a different manner. Going down the lineup, Mikkola had a couple of big hits. Montour looked good. Ekblad did not have his best game of the night. Didn't have his best night. Best night of the. It wasn't great. He wasn't terrible. Offensively, he looked good. Defensively, he had a couple of moments. No big deal. And Cousins looked good up there on that second line with Bennett and Tkachuk. It's funny because Buffalo has a guy that's Cousins as well. So the goals in the first period were Cousins, Bennett, and Tkachuk. But of course, wrong Cousins. It looks the same. It looks the same, that line, as they did during the playoffs last year. So we'll all continue to go back and forth on whatever the hell Bill Zito's going to do. Put out a couple videos last couple days about it, and we'll just have to see what he decides he wants to do. Bubba, almost. Bubba gets his pre-game pats post-game, and it's the same result. I mean, he kept us in the game as well. Buffalo did not. I don't feel like we thoroughly outplayed the Sabres tonight, but a lot of nights that's just how it goes. The last game, the Capitals. I didn't think we outplayed them either, but we win. And that's when it all comes down to it. That's all it is. Anything? Oh, the last thing, the Lundell, Lusterine, and Rodriguez line. Again, I talked about this with Cousins, being that it's important to have him up there on that second line because the way it allows everybody else to slot in. Now, I know some people would prefer for Hagee down there with Bennett and Kachuk, but obviously you're going to have, you're not going to put Cousins up on the top. But Rodriguez is really working with Lundell and Lusterine. They've had multiple chances, and I know sometimes those guys had trouble finishing. Today, I'm not going to blame Rodriguez. He made a beautiful, he deked through a couple of guys, made a beautiful move, did lift the puck, and Luukkonen just got the best of him. So, I mean, that line is definitely more active. Certainly, it's a massive improvement over when Cousins was there. So, it's good stuff all the way around. The only thing I'll say that I'm not usually all that pleased about, I mean, we're winning games, so it's a minor complaint. But when I look at the time on ice of the fourth line, I do feel like we could maybe squeeze an extra couple of minutes out of those guys and maybe take the burden off of our top guys a little bit more. I think it's like 6 or 7 minutes a night. I know that for a lot of teams can be typical, but I kind of feel like we could get away with like those guys getting 8 or 9 minutes and maybe one fewer shift each for the bigger guys. I don't feel like that would cost us anything, but that's the Paul Maurice system. He's gonna roll with what he wants to roll with. So, all right. I'm not counting them out. I'm not counting out the 14. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna just go right past the 14. I mean, we just. I'm trying to think. Now, we used to have some close, low-scoring defensive battles back in around the time we won the Southeast Division. 11, 12 in there. But it wasn't like this. This is just every night. You just expect the puck to stay out of the net. You just expect it. Like in the early years with Bob, we kind of knew, oh, here comes a breakaway. This is going in the back of the net. And now, when they do score, it's like, wait, what? They're allowed to do that? What? You know what I mean? It's just like, it'd just be a normal average goal. And we're just like, what? How do we allow a goal? We've just come to expect so much from this team. Enjoy it, people, because we're watching the ESPN broadcast, and we're watching a Panther game, and they're telling us that the Panthers are on pace to quite possibly enter the playoffs as the Stanley Cup favorite. The Panthers, us, after all these decades, and I know that that's not winning it, I know that, but you want to talk about something that has never happened before around here, would be us going into the playoffs as the favorite, expected, most likely to win the cup. That's just, I got to check my pulse, pinch myself some of these times. So enjoy it. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. I will be live tomorrow at noon, like I am every day after the Panther games. I'll have something out on the football channel tomorrow. I had a couple things that come out in the last few days on the exclusively male men's support channel. Appreciate all of the support. Doces! I got that one right. No, that's still 12. 2 points.